Hi all, it's Ed from Racket Ralphs, and got a new video for you today of our 2022-3 season. Some pairings we've got. So we've been through the Clown Pied so far, we've been through some of the other clown projects, and keeping a little bit with that theme, but going into another aspect of it, really focusing around Desert Ghost. So we'll be cross over some of it into the clown project and some of the other stuff. So let's get into it. We can show you this now. So you probably saw I was wearing my Marvel t-shirt here, and that is because this boy we have called the Hulk. So he is a visual desert ghost. This is the male that's leading this part of the project. Visual desert ghost. You can see how bright he is. It's not got any other genes in, but really bright and fantastic boy here. He is also 50% het for clown. We need to prove that out. We will get to that in a minute, but he's just about up to size. He's 680 grams, something like that. He has just started producing sperm plugs the last month or so. A little bit hissy. Let me just lift you up and show you his gorgeous belly there, with the checkered pattern underneath. That's because, as I say, he is just a desert ghost. I say just a desert ghost. Desert ghost, for anyone who hasn't got desert ghost in their collection, desert ghost I think is a must-have gene for the future. Let me just try and move that into camera a little bit more. Yeah, desert ghost makes everything better, brightens it up, gives it a whole new level. And so if you think in terms of this boy should be look like a normal, yes, the pattern looks normal, but I think you'll agree he does not look like a normal in terms of coloration. Much brighter, and that's the desert ghost doing that. And it just makes all of the things that you put it into absolutely pop. So so yeah, the checkered underneath on his belly is really a normal would have that. He is, as I say, just desert ghost. Other than that, he would be a normal. But just let me show you the flanks down there. Show you the head stamp. So bit of a, hope you can see that. Oh, he doesn't like being handled too much, this one. So it's a little bit blushed out. You can see that there. But just an amazing gene that really makes everything pop. And eventually I want to get Desert Ghost into basically everything we're doing. But this boy is only young, so we're not going to have him going into a huge number of things this year. But we have got some things for him to go into. So I'm just going to do a quick switcheroo. And first of all, I mentioned that he is 50% het for clown. Boy, I hope he proves out, but we need to try and test him to see if that's going to prove out. So this girl that I'm about to bring into camera is one of his pairings for this year. This is Mango. Let me just zoom out a bit so you can see her better. She is a visual clown. She's actually the most expensive snake that we have in our collection currently. She's a visual clown. She also has 3 other codominant genes in the mix. She is pastel. She is Mojave. So the pastel gives like the yellower colour. She is browning out, which pastel clowns can do fairly frequently. But you can see her head stamp there. Typical clown head stamp. As I say, pastel. Mojave gives all of these dots down the flanks. And most importantly, and the reason that she is the most expensive snake in our collection, she's also red stripe. She's possibly a super red stripe. So the red stripe clowns are sometimes known as the Magma Project, named by Justin Kaboka, called the Magma Project because it creates a bit more of sort of fissures of along the dorsal stripe, like the Earth opening up and magma coming out. All those scientists will know that once it comes out of the ground, above ground, it's called lava. But I guess this is perhaps supposed to be before it's dripped down the sides, like you can see there. So the Magma Project is a red stripe clown. This girl we brought into our collection because, and we mentioned in I think the last of the videos in this series at least, that we have a goal of creating a Pompeii. The Pompeii is a red stripe, yellow belly, black pastel, spot nose clown. So this girl is crucial to our Pompeii project. She wants to get away, as you can see. Absolutely crucial to the Pompeii project. The most expensive element of it, really. But she's gorgeous. She's called Mango because she was so bright when we got her. As I say, she is dulling up at the moment, browning out. She is almost up to size. She's currently sitting on about 1,450 grams, I think, 1,400, 1,450. So she's probably a month or so away from being of a size where we could consider pairing her. So why put her to the Desert Ghost? Well, two reasons. First of all, as I said, the Hulk, our Desert Ghost, is 50% het for clown. We want to prove that out. Now, we only have one visual clown female that is basically nearing size to pair, and it's this girl here. We could pair him to a bunch of het clowns, and we'd have if they both proved out, we'd have a 1 in 4 chance of hitting a clown. But we wouldn't know if we didn't hit it, of which ones are the het and which aren't, which is the problem animal, which doesn't carry the gene. And so this girl, being a visual clown, guarantees that we know what we're dealing with. And worst case scenario, if the Hulk doesn't prove het for clown, then what we will have is we will have at least double het visuals, double het for clown and Desert Ghost. Desert Ghost clowns, those that haven't seen them, look at some on Morph Market. They are sensational. Absolutely amazing animals. So bright, so clean, actually improve with age rather than getting worse with age. Desert Ghost goes particularly well with pastel as well, which makes it even better in pastel clowns. The fact that we would, even if he doesn't prove out, have 3 codoms in the mix of pastel, red stripe and Mojave means that we would only have a 1 in 8 chance of hitting a normal double het. 1 in 2 chance of hitting one of the genes, 1 in 4 of hitting 2 of the codon genes. This is 1 in 2 for hitting 1, 1 in 4 for hitting 2, 1 in 8 for hitting all 3, or 1 in 8 for hitting none of them. And so by putting this girl to the Hulk, we are achieving several things. Number one, we will prove out if he is het for, or more or less, provided she gives us a decent number of eggs, should prove out if he is or is not het for clown. Number two, if he isn't het for clown, we know that at least all of the offspring are double het clown and Desert Ghost, because she's a visual clown and he's a visual Desert Ghost. Number three, that we've got other codoms in the mix. And a bit of advice to anyone who's creating hets: get as many other genes into those hets as you possibly can at an early stage. You will only cost yourself more time trying to bring other codom genes into a project at a later stage, because you will have to go back to creating hets. So if you can get those hets in early with lots of other genes, it's great to do that. You can always sort of breed a gene out. Takes a lot longer to breed other genes into a project. So a bit of advice there, and yeah, this girl is great. So that's the Hulk's first pairing. Just to reiterate, visual desert ghost to a visual clown, Mojave pastel, red stripe. While I'm changing over to the next thing, the last reason to put those two together is the fact that I think the Pompeii, if we could get Desert Ghost into the Pompeii, that would take that to a whole new level. That does add another level of complexity to it, but something for the future. Okay, so let me get the next one for you that the Hulk is being paired to. So this girl is called Aphrodite. And what is Aphrodite? Well, she is a pastel cypress. Pastel and cypress, I think, go really well together, but particularly in clown. Pastel cypress clowns, those that haven't seen them, they are gorgeous. Have a look at some online again. Pastel cypress clowns. I seriously considered buying a visual pastel cypress clown. They're not cheap, which is why I didn't do it in the end. As I say, the Hulk hopefully will prove out het for clown. If he doesn't, that's fine. We can deal with that later on. But if he does, then this girl could give us help us quickly into the pastel cypress clown by putting her to the Hulk. But what else does she carry? Well, she is 100% het for Desert Ghost. So what we will, worst case scenario, produce is 50% of the young will be visual Desert Ghosts. Hopefully, if he proves out het for clown, half of those will also be het for clown. We won't know which half, but potentially a chance of getting into Desert Ghost pastel cypress clowns. She's gorgeous. She has got a little bit of time to go yet on her weight, so she might be ready by the end of the season. We hope so. She's currently sitting on about just under 1,300 grams, so got a couple of hundred to go, but she does eat well. We bought her only a year or so ago. She was the smallest snake we had. She was only just over 100 grams then, and she, as I say, so she's put on about 1,200 in that year. You can see she's trying to escape, but cypress is a great gene, something to get into everything. Pastel cypress, Desert Ghost, we will certainly be shooting for. Everything that isn't Desert Ghost will be 100% het for Desert Ghost, and hopefully, if he proves out, 50% het for clown. So that is Aphrodite, and just to show you a little bit more down the sides, so at the flanks. So the cypress, you can see it whacks out some of the alien heads. Oh, she's trying to go around the camera stand now, but whacks out some of the alien heads that you can see down the side. Gives a lot of these rings, so the eyes are often quite a lot bigger on the alien heads, and whacks out the dorsal stripe quite often too. You can see those sort of rings, even triangle there, on there. So that's Aphrodite. certainly should produce some visual desert ghosts from her. And as we've only got one visual desert ghost in our collection, which is the Hulk, it'd be great to get some more of those. So that's her. And like I say, hopefully, if he proves out for clown, then some Cypress Desert Ghost clowns. So, last girl that he's being paired to, just got a mango trying to escape there. Just get her back in, off camera. There we go. Okay, so the last thing to be paired. Another thing that Desert Ghost goes very well with, have a look on Morph Market again, is pied. And we are definitely looking to get Desert Ghost pieds in our collection. So, some of you may recognise this girl. We don't show her very often because she for a long time was very shy. She was a bit of a problem feeder. We really struggled to get her going. Brought her in, she just wouldn't feed very well at all. She is now settled on Maltese, and she feeds very well now on triple XL Maltese. And she is sitting on about 1,400 grams as well. So she's probably, again, about 100 off of pairing. We're not worried about not pairing quite yet because the Hulk, as I say, is only just up to size himself. So give him another couple of months isn't a bad thing in the slightest. But the reason you may recognise this girl, she's called Nebula, again from the Marvel themes, is that she is actually what I have is my logo currently at the minute. I haven't got a properly designed logo, so you may have seen pictures of her. She is a super pastel pied, and she's lovely. Really like the amount of pattern that she has. She's fairly 50-50 with the patterning. Really nice pied. And like I said earlier on, pastel goes really well with Desert Ghost. A lot of people sort of aren't keen on pastel, hate on it, but I personally like pastel. I just think that you need to be careful what you put it into. I'm a big fan of pastel, and I think it can do really good things with brightening and adding colour. There is definitely an aspect of it can brown out as the animal gets older. As we said, that's something that Desert Ghost fights, and actually they tend to improve with age, with each shed. This girl is a super pastel. She is a visual pied. Putting her to the Hulk will mean that everything is pastel and will be at least a double het, pied and Desert Ghost. And of course it would then be a case of raising those up and breeding from them to get the visuals, the double visuals. It would be a 1 in 16 chance of creating a visual Desert Ghost pied from het to het. 1 in 4 chance of creating one of those as a visual, but then to create both of them in the same animal, it's 4 times 4, 16. For those that struggle to think in terms of what's the odds on it, that's what you're going to have of pairing a double visual, a double het to a double het. There's 1 in 16 chance of hitting the animal in the double visual form. Of course, if you do hit the animal in one of those visual forms, there is a 66% chance that it carries the other gene. And so there is a lot that we can potentially have here. It's never great to get into pos hets too much unless you can then quite easily prove it out. That can lead you down a bit of a rabbit hole if you're not careful. But this girl is lovely. Everything will be pastel. So what we will be creating here is a lot of pastels that are double het for pied and for Desert Ghost. And so it's a bit of a longer term project. Now I did mention something about him, I keep talking about it, potentially being het for clown, which we're going to prove out with Mango, as we've talked about. If he proves out het for clown, then also 50% of the young from these would be het for clown. We won't know which ones, but would be het for clown. And so, it's a big if he proves out, but if so, it's just a bonus if he does. It's not the end of the world if he doesn't, because we will be creating those 100% hets. But if he does, it can certainly save us some time and could actually tie into the clown pied project that we've already talked about. Because as we've in the previous video talked about, we're looking at several clown pied projects options, and if he does prove out het for clown, then this could be another aspect in going into that project to get Desert Ghosts into that project. I haven't seen one. Have they probably been produced? I should look it up. But a triple visual Desert Ghost clown pied, I think would be an amazing animal. As I've already said in previous videos, I love clown pieds. I think they're stunning animals. Add Desert Ghost into it. I think will make the whole animal go to the next level. So potentially that's an option. That's a bonus if we get it. What we're really looking at here is double het clown pied, double het Desert Ghost pieds. All will be pastel, with a long-term project to look at creating Desert Ghost pieds. So anyway, tell us which, drop some comments in below, which is your favourite pairing of those three, which project, if any of these, do you really like? Are you a fan of the Desert Ghost clowns, the pieds? What is it that interests you? How do you feel about the Cypress gene? What would you do going forwards with some of these projects? There's so many possibilities with Desert Ghost. Like I say, I personally eventually want to get Desert Ghost into pretty much everything. It makes everything better. But anyway, so that's Nebula, lovely girl. Let me just before we finish off, show you her lovely white belly, indicative of the pieds. Lovely clean white belly. She's lovely, and she's doing well now, as I say, feeding really well. So that's those four animals for you. The male Hulk, and then you've got Nebula on picture there, and we've already shown you Mango and Aphrodite. Hope you liked the video. Please, as I say, comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of the rest of it, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.